evening and welcome to March 2018 SecDSM. We're glad you're here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Disclaimer, SecDSM exists as an educational entity. That means we teach you how to do all kinds of cool things. However, we do not condone taking these cool things and using them in any sort of illegal context. Along those lines, we also engage with the law enforcement community, and a lot of nights they show up to SecDSM. I'll leave it up to you to determine if they've showed up tonight or not. Also, language needs to be kept at a PG-13 level. That's a request that we make. So if you can just watch the language, that's definitely appreciated. Code of conduct. A month or two ago, we adopted a code of conduct for SecDSM. And I'll just read this off real quick. The mission of SecDSM cannot be achieved without a harassment-free community. Harassment is defined, applies to all SecDSM members and sponsors, and just as a note, being here tonight means you are a member. Reporting and board action is defined, including warning or expulsion, channels, Slack, or any of the board members, or admins at SecDSM.org. Please, if you have any sort of problem, reach out to us. We want to help you get it addressed, and we want to help you feel comfortable here. This is a community, and we want to make sure everyone's included. Likewise, if you have an idea, something that you would like to see introduced or happen on a regular basis at these meetings, please reach out to us. Admins at SecDSM.org is the best way. However, this is all of us. So if you want to reach out to us via Slack, that would be a good way to reach out. If you want to read the code of conduct in its full glory, I believe it's @/about.
You still didn't fix it.
Okay, speakers, sponsors, donations. If you want to help out, come find me or Brandon or any of the board members and just tell us what your idea is. Thank you, Matt White. Also, the AV team, we have some needs. We have some availability there. If you have AV experience and you want to come help us, and I'm going to invite Jared to talk more on that point.
I can't see the laptop at the moment, so I hope I'm in frame. Oh, there I am. I think. Hey, we're here. So we are fortunate to be getting a sort of little self-contained EV setup, so that we only have to plug in a couple cables each week. It'll be in a nice little rolling box and everything. And I'm looking for people that want to be involved in that, want to know the system as well as I do. If I need a week off, if I get hit by a bus, whatever. Someone that knows the system as well as I do. There's a lot that goes into it. There's more than just what you see sitting on the table. There's a lot of planning and Slack channels and whatnot. So if you're interested in all, feel free to email av@secdsm.org or visit us on the Slack channel and ask there. No experience necessary. I'll train you up as much as you need to know. You just need to be willing to learn and have a desire for a little bit of AV stuff. Thanks.
And if it isn't clear, Jared's one of the unsung heroes of SecDSM, one of the many people working behind the scenes to make sure this comes off smoothly. So if we can get him some help, that would be great. I think everyone would appreciate that. Thanks, Jared. Transparency report. All right, we'll go through this real quick. Space and beer provided by the Forge by Pillar Technology. As a reminder, help keep this space clean. This is a community space tonight. So if you've got dishes, if you've got glasses, please put that in the kitchen area when you're finished. If there's someone back there, please help hand the dish to them or find out how they want to receive the dish. If no one's back there, please just put it on the table next to the dishwasher and someone will handle it. But please help keep this space clean for us. They really do a lot for us, and we really appreciate it. So that's the least we can do to give back to them is keep their space clean. Food is provided by SecDSM. I'm not sure the food's out yet, but we're going to take a break after the 101 So there will be, looks like food is out. But if you haven't had a chance to grab food yet, we're going to take a break before the first presentation, and you'll be able to grab as much food as you want at that point. Also, we'd like to extend our thanks to our sponsor for the evening, Symantec. They're right over here. So I highly encourage all of you to go talk to them. Just see what they have to say. They're an interesting group of people, and they're obviously supportive of the community. So please check them out. See, I think they got some free stuff too. So go grab some of that and have a conversation. Financial transparency. So I think we're going to bring up Ben Schmidt for that. You want to do this?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. So Aaron's on vacation. So Aaron's the treasurer, just kind of helping him out. But there's been a fair amount of revenue that's related to the video system that was discussed earlier, which is a very cool thing. So we're excited about that. Not much for expenses. It was already covered by Nick that SecDSM has helped cover the cost of pizza tonight. But you can see that February was a good month for revenue, as was March. With a nice, healthy balance, which we'll put forth to the community. Any questions about money in, money out, or up to?
Are we allowed to say where that money came from?
Can't. We will re-announce it.
Yeah.
You can explain.
When the video box that was discussed earlier gets made and created, there were 3 different companies that helped contribute to that to make it what it's going to be. So I'd say there's more of a grand unveiling when we do that, which will be really cool. We can be more detailed, but there were 3 people who helped, 3 individuals or companies that helped us get some of that revenue, which is cool. We'll leave it at that.
Put their stickers on the box.
Thank you, Ben, for giving us that financial transparency report. Right. Third Thursday of every month, back here in April, we will be at the Forge. That's the third Thursday of April, so plan on being back here for another month of fun and games. Also, if you're not in our Slack community, you really should be. These are the instructions on how to get into our Slack community. Basically, you just go to secdsm.org and find the Slack sign-up area of the main page. Enter your email, first name, last name, and click the blue button. And then you'll get an invite and you'll be able to sign into our Slack channel. Our Slack channel is a great extension of this community. It allows us to communicate regularly to just about anyone you want to talk to in the information security community in Des Moines. It's a great place to network, bounce ideas off people, and just hang out and have a good time. We do a Friday night thing where Brandon hosts us all, and we drink beer and talk about tools. It has a funny name, but you have to sign up to the Slack channel to find out that funny name. So if you're not in the Slack channel, join. Please join as soon as you can. Say hello, tell us who you are, and we'll see you there. Swag, okay. So we've got some new swag. We had to reorder a couple months ago. We are out of XL polos. Large polos. Sorry, we're out of large polos. So if you need a large polo, you won't be able to get one tonight. We're going to try to reorder those next month, and hopefully we'll have those. Otherwise, XL, 2XL, same logo, new fabric or charcoal color, and then obviously the shirts, $20 for the shirts, $20 for the caps, $40 for the polos. How do we want to do patches tonight, Brandon?
I don't know.
Okay. Patches are $5 or be a speaker. If you're a speaker, you get a free patch. And it looks really cool. I've got one on my bag and I get questions about it all the time. It's a great conversation starter. Upcoming events. I'm not going to go through all of these because there's a big list and they're on the website too. I want to call out a couple of them though. First is SecIC, our sister group in Iowa City. That's March 20th. That's a Tuesday. If any of you are from that side of the state or want to take a drive to that side of the state, highly recommend checking them out. They have great presentations. They're well run. It's a fun time. Please head over there for that. The other one is B-Sides Iowa. That's April 14th. That's a Saturday at Grandview University. There will be a SecDSM CTF and a lot of very good presentations. Presentations were announced today and are available at bsidesiowa.com. Other than that, there's a standard B-Sides Las Vegas DEF CON stuff in August, and a couple other big cons.
Electronic badges this year, besides Iowa.
B-Sides Iowa has electronic badges only for the first 150 people to sign up and buy a ticket, though. So if tickets are $15. They're getting close to that magic number. So if you haven't gotten your tickets to B-Sides Iowa yet, you better get on that. Better get that pretty quick. Also, just one more time, these events are on the website. So if you want to go to check one out, please hit up secdsm.org. Okay, so I'm going to invite Brandon to come up right now to talk about some things and stuff.
Thank you, Nick. All right, things and stuff. All right, so over the past month or so, we've had some interest about some legislation that has come through within the state of Iowa. So these are the two that have kind of pulled interest. The first one was talking about ultimately skimmers for gas pumps, which you wouldn't think would have too much connection to SecDSM, but it actually talked about card cloning and NFC cloning and a whole bunch of things that we might actually do as security practitioners. And then the House bill, House study bill, which is called, I forget, like human trafficking bill. I forget what it's called. So this is actually is quite interesting. It actually talks about requiring every computer to have a content filter on it and actually paying a fee in order to remove that content filter. It's kind of interesting. It's interesting, but the mission of SecDSM is education. And we are not a lobbyist organization. We are not here to influence legislation. We are here to educate. And so we've actually reached out to some of our state legislators and we've invited them to SecDSM because just like you, we want them to come here and to receive education. And so this Venn diagram kind of shows that, right? Like we want to educate, but we're not lobbyists. And so we're going to stay out of the business of trying to influence legislation. In fact, as a nonprofit educational organization, we cannot do that, or we're going to lose our nonprofit status. So we're focused on educating. I highly encourage you to reach out to your legislators about topics that are of interest to you. I believe in being a supporter and involved in our community, and this is one part of that. But invite your legislators to SecDSM. If there's a topic of interest to you, invite them here. Let's have a conversation, but let's not try to leverage SecDSM to influence legislation. And I'll leave it at that and hand it back over to Nick.
Thank you, Brandon. And if you have any questions on that, please feel free to see Brandon. He will talk to you about it, and he'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So the mini CTF tonight is a challenge called Take This. That's the URL, ctf.secdsm.org, March_gotcha. Do the things, win the prize. We want to call out Brad Williams for designing this competition for us. He was the winner of last month's CTF. So if you are the winner of tonight's CTF, you may have to do a CTF next month in April. Just kind of a thing that you may have to do. But there's also a prize to win. And then the prize is separate than the prize of getting to do a CTF for us in April. So go to the URL and do the things, win the prize. I'm going to turn it over now to James Beal to go over the Hobbies channel and SecDSM news.
Thanks, James. You got the Britney mic again. Every time I use this thing, I just feel a little bit more pretty for 5 or 10 minutes while I stand up here.
go ahead and talk about a few things. Hobbies channel, first off, have a couple discussions in there. The last couple weeks been good. People talking about video games and stuff. Need to kick off. I brought it up last month, but we need to. I got the official notification from Flicks Brewhouse that they're taking ticket orders for Ready Player One, which is coming up here in a couple weeks. So I will get out there on the Slack channel tonight or tomorrow, get into the Hobbies channel and get that started, get a count. We will probably do 6 or 7 p.m., whichever time they have open on Saturday. So I believe the movie actually starts playing at like 10:30 or 11. They have a show on Wednesday night. So if you want to go catch it and can't make it with the group, but it's always fun to go as a group and then mob flicks with 10 or 12 of us deep in there. Range day as well. We've done several range days. Obviously, it's been winter time. We haven't really done one all winter long. I'll start that up and get that discussion going. Hopefully, we can get one done at some point in April with B-Sides Iowa one weekend, B-Sides Kansas City another weekend, and I'm out of town the weekend before. It might be a bit of an issue, so it might be planned right now for maybe the last Saturday or Sunday in April as the next range day for SecDSM. Had some call out there for people if they're interested in Ragbri, putting a Ragbri team together. I put this on the slide for the last couple months. And if anybody has any suggestions of any other fun get-togethers, these are just kind of the things we've tried so far. If anybody's interested in getting anything together, or D&D game night or something like that, there's obviously now almost 350 people in the Slack channel. So there's probably at least a couple of the other of us nerds that'll do fun things together. Real quick hit for a few minutes of the news. Just easy, quick little story. The story came out from Microsoft doing some tracking. Ransomware was highest in Asia for last year. It actually shows, and I think I took it off here on the slide, but the US was one of the lower counts of the world, so that's actually rather interesting considering all the ransomware we all see around and the huge deal that's made out of it all the time. The CIO of Equifax actually got charged with insider trading, and I actually mostly just put this slide up here to put this GIF up here because this GIF is totally awesome. So feel free not to listen to me while you watch this guy destroy himself and 8 other people on a boat. So the SEC announced that they actually charged the Equifax CEO of insider trading. We all knew this was probably coming. I know it's pretty much everyone in the community is aware of the fact that these guys traded stock. The big argument has been, and I don't know that we've got any details out yet. I didn't get any further details in this story. I don't think it was in there about the timing, but they actually brought Mandiant in, and if he's been charged, the assumption is they were probably well aware of the fact that there was a security problem before they sold off millions of dollars worth of stock right before they made the announcement. There's been a botnet going for the last couple of years that's on Android phones. It's believed to be run by a Chinese criminal organization. They've actually got it up to almost 5 million devices, and as of February added in some extra funness, so we're getting to the criminal side of things instead of just ads and serving up ads at this point. So if you're interested in that and tracking these things, go out and take a look at that, because botnets are always kind of fun. And then we had the announcement of the AMD chip, and I didn't call it out in the title in this slide just so there's a little information on there. But CTS Labs is the company that made the AMD announcement. That they gave, barely 24 hours for the announcement to AMD before they released the information. There's actually, if you go out and look at the story, and I hadn't seen this yet until I started poking around, they actually have decided they think that 0 days are an issue that should be notified to the public, keeping back the technical information, which is in the paragraph at the bottom, but that instead of this 60-day window, 90-day window, 6-month window to the vendor, that the public should be made aware of it when a 0 day of this impact is discovered, and that the technical details are then shared with the vendor, and time is given to them to handle it, but that at least the public is aware of it ahead of time and not 6 or 9 months later. And then the last story I put up here was Putin doing animals. No, U.S. sanctions Russia over NotPetya, the energy grid hacks, and the election meddling. So we're actually stepping up a little bit. Usually, just like when we charged the 5 Chinese nationals with ransomware and criminal hacking and things like this, these are nation-state level moves, but it is at least good to see that we've done some acknowledgement on the fact that this is real, and they've actually got some agencies called out in here. If you're interested, you can take a look at that. That is it for my quick shot of the news. We always like to do jobs. If there's anyone looking for a position that wants to get up here and put themselves under the ringer, or anyone that has a position they'd like to announce, I don't think we have a jobs channel in Slack that we actually share with the SecIC guys. There's people posting stuff in there all the time, but if there's something you haven't posted in there, or you'd like to talk to the room of, I think I counted 65 or almost 70 of us here tonight. So if you got something you want to hit up 70 professionals, well, you got the chance. Anyone? We have a taker. Yep.
Hello, my name is Greg Lobach, and I lead the information security team over at Life Care Services here in Des Moines. I have an opening for an information security analyst. I'm looking for someone that's got a strong background in risk assessment, risk management. If you know anyone, if you're interested, catch me later. Otherwise, check out our website, Life Care Services. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes?
I'd like to share that Principal still has a cloud security architect opening, and we're looking for somebody with 5 years of experience.
Thank you. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? I don't see any hands. All right, that's it for me. Go ahead and bring Nick up to finish up. With his pizza. Can you eat the pizza and talk at the same time?
No, I cannot.
Dude, come on.
Thanks, James. Thanks for all the trolling, too. Tonight's agenda. All right, we're doing the 101 right now. That started at 6:05 with James trolling me. 6:30 is our first presentation. We'll take a break between now and 6:30 so that everyone can grab pizza like I did and brought up here, as well as beer and food that's available. 7:10 will be Ben Schmidt doing his talk on investigating insider threats. And then at 9 o'clock, we have to be out of here. And that means gone by 9. That doesn't mean like leaving by 9. We gotta be out by 9. So just keep that in mind and go grab some food.